Guys, good afternoon. My name is Jerry Miller, and welcome to the I Love CVille Show. It's great to be with you on a gorgeous Wednesday, a great day to be alive. We're live in Charlottesville, across Albemarle County, Central Virginia, the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love CVille Network. Guys, if you want to get part of the show, just offer your perspective in the comment section on any social media platform you're watching the show upon, and we will relay that perspective to our guests, Louie and Danny. I'm so excited to welcome these guys in a matter of moments. Before we do, we give some props to Dr. Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine for being a part of the show. Dr. Wagner has your back. Ting Fiber Internet also powers this show. The best internet in Charlottesville is undoubtedly Ting Fiber Internet. Vanessa Parkhill, thank you for watching. We love you, Vanessa Parkhill. I think you're going to love these entrepreneurs we're about to introduce to you. Judah, why don't we go to that studio camera, please? And let's welcome, without further ado, Danny and Louie. Gentlemen, good to see you. Jen Finazzo, que pasa? We love you, Jen Finazzo. I know Danny loves Jen Finazzo as well. All right, why don't we start with Danny, and then we'll go to you, Louie. Before we talk shop, introduce yourself to everybody.
First of all, Jerry, thanks for having us, man.
Sure.
It's a real honor to be on here. I turned 5 in Charlottesville, grew up here. Louie and I went to high school together. And then our friendship kind of really came together at VCU when we went to school in Richmond together. And we kind of collaborated through high school and through college artistically. Louie studied, well, I'll let him tell you about that. But basically, the namesake of the shop is cinema, and it comes from our common thread, which is doing filmmaking. And I've done some acting. I studied acting in school. And then Louie does, he does some behind-the-scenes stuff. I'll let him tell you about that, but film editing and just about everything else. But yeah, I'm a Charlottesville native. Thank you. Thanks, Joe. And yeah, man, I've been working downtown for a long time. And
Everyone knows you downtown. Okay. I'm going to cut to the chase. Okay. Everyone knows this dude downtown.
I'm really stoked to be on here. And yeah, we were both looking to open something up together, and this just seemed to make the most sense. So anyway, I'm really stoked to be here. I'm a little nervous, I'm not going to lie.
It's great to have you.
Yeah,
you're doing a great job.
Man. I appreciate it. But yeah, we saw an niche and just basically went for it. I'll let Louie talk a little bit about it, but he's definitely the skater out of the two of us, and I'm kind of, with my managing experience and restaurant experience, kind of running the storefront on the back end. So
you're getting love from Chris Butler.
Oh, okay.
Amy Moore, watching the broadcast. Your former boys at Zocalo on the stream right now. Ivan, que pasa? He's watching.
Ivan's watching? Oh,
he says, great job,
Ivan?
fellas. Finazzo, Jen, we love Jen Finazzo and Ivan on this program. Work it, Jen Finazzo says, and congrats, guys.
Thanks, Jen.
We love you both, guys. Let's get Louie in the mix. Louie, how about an intro to you, sir?
Intro. I'm the skateboarder at the shop. Yeah, Danny was like, why is there no skate shop in Charlottesville? And I said, that's a good question. And there hadn't been one here for a decade. And it took us from the idea to the shop opening was 4 months or something. So
yeah.
Like we went all in, changed our lifestyles around and everything kind of to make it happen.
What does that mean?
Just in terms of like, well, I was doing video production before this, so that's a big shift from retail or from video production to retail. But that's what I've been doing the last 12 or so years. Is kind of like a one-stop shop for video production, editing, stuff like that.
Our boy Andrew Silver is watching from Texas right now. I love you, Andrew Silver. Word on the street, Andrew Silver, is you're a hell of a pickleball player. That's what I'm hearing in the pickleball circles around here. Is it Fang Fenabusi? Watching the program. He says, Lou Dog.
What's up, Sang?
Sang. He says, Lou Dog, okay, miss you, man.
Sang, all right, yo, Sang, what's up, dog? Yeah, I miss you too. Here's the thing, Sang, he was the manager at Charlottesville Skate Park 2.0. So it's back when it was on the old tennis courts.
Okay.
Across from Charlottesville Plaza. That's the original McIntyre skate park.
Okay.
It was tennis courts that we started bringing boxes and hammering rails into the ground. The city just let us take it over. It got paved over, and the city put in the second skate park down there, let's say. So McIntyre 2.0, and Sang was a manager there, and he was the coolest, man. Like, he really just cared about kids skating, having a good time, and getting better at skateboarding, and he loved, like, supporting us. And to the point where we were friends with him outside of the park, everything. He's great. Sang, thanks for checking in, man.
He says Louis used to rip up the old McIntyre Park. Literally just said that,
Nice.
saying, we love when you offer perspective here. All right, let's talk about Cinema Skate Shop. How was the brand and the business birthed? I mean, we know COVID has given momentum and tailwinds behind a lot of outside sports.
Yeah.
Golf is blowing up, racket sports are blowing up. I would imagine skateboarding is blowing up more than ever.
So it's team sports were a little iffy.
Yeah.
So individual sports whoosh,
Took off.
took off. That combined with ladies and girls skateboarding too, just really skateboarding blew up the past 1 to 3 years, but really over the COVID time, like really blew up to the point where the industry was backed up with product, and there was too much. The demand was higher than the supply, and the industry is still catching up with that. But there was a time about a year ago when you couldn't get a skateboard deck in a skate shop because the industry was that slammed. So the industry, I think, had to turn the factory lights on overnight and hire people, and they're still catching up.
What do you think?
Yeah. Basically echoing what Louis said, I mean, we've all seen it. We drive past the skate park. And
It's on fire.
Just crowded, absolutely. I mean, some of the, biggest complaint that we get from the kids that are coming into the shop is that, there's a lot of people there. And I mean, which is awesome. I think, between just seeing, we took, I had this aha moment back in January where I was looking to buy a skateboard in Charlottesville, and I was like, holy cow, we don't have a dedicated skate shop. Growing up with Louis, and I'm not, I'll just say it right now, I'm not the skateboarder in this business relationship. Louis is definitely the skatehead, but through our relationship, one of the funnest things about skate culture, in my opinion, is that you go in, you get to pick out your deck, you pick out everything else that goes, with building the board, and then half of it is going to the shop and hanging out and having, a place to go. And I think that that's been one of the, a large missing piece, especially with the skate park, especially with kids needing something to do downtown. We're really,
He's not saying skate downtown, by the way.
No, I'm not saying that, yeah.
But I think you mean retail-wise, shopping-wise.
Yeah, just something for the kids to do downtown. It's really, it's been just super, it's been just so, I can't tell you the feeling just having these kids come in and be stoked that there's something for them downtown. It's just awesome. So anyway, just in the last 2 weeks, it's been it makes sense. And we thought that it made sense back in January between just doing a little research and finding that skateboarding had just this huge boom due to COVID, and then also, just seeing how popular the trend has been over the last couple of years too.
Yeah, and I just I'm struggling here. I don't have the official plug for this, but they are trying to raise money to put lights down at the skate park right now.
Nice.
So I wish I had the official link to tell people where to go to get involved. But this is a huge thing going on for the skate park. Lights at night would, if you can skate 4 more hours there at night, it's gonna alleviate a lot of the overcrowded hours. So I'm not sure their budget, but it's very attainable, especially if people get involved, helping raise the money to put the lights up. Just throwing that out there.
Andrew says, love you, Danny, Sofa King much.
Thanks, Andrew.
I love Andrew Silver so much.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
let's
you,
throw
Andrew.
this to you guys. So this business, our business, is 13 years old on May 31st. And I remember launching this business 13 years ago. I was scared out of my mind. Did you guys have any of that fear and vulnerability when launching this business? And can you put it in perspective?
Yeah.
I wasn't scared.
You were not scared at all.
No, I mean,
I like this man's swagger.
it was, for me,
Yeah.
it wasn't. So Danny was the one who was like, why? Why is there no skate shop here? And to me, that's one of those questions in my head that I probably had, but not in the front of my mind. And anyway, sorry. But sorry, let's move on.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jump
No,
in.
I had some jitters. I mean, it was a huge transition for me. I was working in restaurants. I've been managing restaurants for the better part of 6 years now. And, while I was looking to go into business for myself, this is not really where I saw myself ending up. But, through our relationship, Louis and I have been very close friends for a long time, and we had been looking for kind of an opening. I know that, we had pretty much reached a peak in both of our careers, whether it was film editing and same thing with managing restaurants, that I was like, the next step would be to open my own business. And
I respect that so much, dude.
thank you.
Seriously.
Yeah, thank you, man. It's
freaking
Yeah.
hard. Anyone who's watching, it is so freaking hard. I have so much respect for anyone who's willing to try this. Rosemary Postel, welcome to the broadcast. You have questions coming in already. Joanne Moore says you guys are looking really, really good right now.
Joanne.
She's watching the show. From what I can tell here, you have 6 states watching you guys on today's program. I appreciate you guys, and you used the term I often do, the aha moment, where you're like, where am I going to get a board, a deck? Where am I going to get some knowledge? Where's the water cooler where we all can chill and talk about stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like your business is embodying all of those qualities. How about for you, when you're like, you know what, this is going to crush it?
Yeah, so back to our partnership, Danny, we first of all, we realized our experiences balanced each other out really well, especially, I told Danny a billion times, like, I have no business starting any retail shop except this one. So he kind of had that back-end knowledge that I don't have and I'm not interested
Why,
in.
you say that because you're not a businessman? Is that why?
Well, I mean, I am. I've had my own video business, but that's very different than retail,
Sure.
obviously. And in terms of where it's going, I've been making videos. We've been making videos together forever, and I've made I think 4 skate videos over the years.
Cool.
And
Yeah, he's being
modest?
Yeah, he's
All
being
right,
very
let's-
modest.
let's-
no, I'm
yeah.
not. It's all.
Let's hear it from Danny's side here. What's he doing that's being modest here?
Louis,
Louis a beast.
Louis a beast.
I don't know
Louis
about
awesome. I couldn't see myself doing this with anybody else. I mean, literally, when I had the aha moment of looking to buy a skateboard, and when I was like, holy cow, like there's no skate shop here, I called Louis immediately, and I knew right then and there that this could be something. But yeah, back to Louis' reputation.
Yeah, I was fully confident,
Yeah.
and I think once he saw that.
Yeah. And I knew, immediately. I mean, between Louis' connections in the skate world, between growing up, his roots in this town. I mean, on our Instagram, if you guys go to Cinema Skate Shop on our Instagram,
We'll do that right
one
now.
of the first photos is Louis winning a competition at the.
No, you're confused.
Okay,
I did win it. Thank you for bringing that up.
Dude, you guys are like an old married couple.
Yeah,
I
no,
love this right
yeah.
now. I
No,
love
this-
it.
this is
they
a thing.
finish each other's sentences.
No,
I
this
love
is a
it.
thing. It's a thing. When we go to restaurants together, we order for each other. It's great.
all right. What was the award then?
So I did. Thank you for bringing that up. I did win a freestyle contest.
Okay.
When I was 16, I think.
Okay.
I had the run of my life,
Okay.
and I looked way better than I
Yeah.
actually was for
Yeah.
about 5 minutes
Yeah.
of my life. But what the photo you're talking about is me board sliding a rail on Christmas morning
Okay, my bad.
in 1998.
Is
Yeah.
this?
No, that was today. Go all the way to the bottom. It's
Okay.
not too far.
Okay.
Keep going.
But I'll find it. You give us the play-by-play.
Keep going. Keep going.
Okay, right there.
Nope, that's me though. But almost it's the first photo. Okay, that one right there. So
Dang!
It's the Observer.
Louis is on the front cover of the Charlottesville Albemarle Observer circa 1998. 1998. This is a 23-year-old newspaper, the first photo on the Instagram.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can see that's a metal bar hammered into the ground. And
Yeah.
the older dudes, the generation above me, they're the ones who popped that place off and started and realized they could get away with it. The city wasn't going to make them move their stuff. And I was the beneficiary of that movement. And I learned how to skateboard at McIntyre Park before it was a skate park. It was tennis courts.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, McIntyre is a great story. It really
Tell us
is.
the story. I don't know the story.
So that's pretty much it. It was tennis courts. There's nowhere to skate in town other than street skating, and you could get in a fair amount of trouble because skateboarding is a lot more accepted now, especially street skating. And then people did not like it at all, and so there's no place to skateboard where you were supposed to skateboard, and you kind of need a place to get better where you can practice every day, and not get kicked out of.
And you came from a family that really supported you. Your mom, your stepdad, and your dad.
Yeah,
remember,
of course.
helped petition to. They were some of the first proponents for the skate park that we have
that
today.
came out of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that goes back to I think we were the beginning of petitioning for a skate park.
Yeah.
And it took about 20 years. So what you have now is this long line of petitioning and the community working for a better and better skate park. I mean, there's a lot more bureaucracy than that, obviously, but that's the short story. It's just skateboarders telling the city they need it, they need it, they need it, until the city said, hey, let's make a $2 million+ park. And now we have the best skate park, arguably, in the state.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong. Memory serves correct. Tony Hawk, a consultant on the park?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's an Olympic. From my understanding, it's an Olympic build. So it's top of the line skate park, and it's meant. It's pretty much meant for professional contests, I'd say.
Is that the next step, maybe, for
Absolutely.
you guys? You hosting
at least
sure.
professional demos.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
sick,
think
dude.
about. Yeah, no, that's. I mean, that's the cool thing about a skate shop. A skate shop can foster that kind of thing.
You just need someone leading the charge.
Yeah, I mean, it takes someone who's in cahoots with the industry, where we're reaching out saying, hey, like, when is your team coming through? Can they possibly, it takes someone on the ground to kind of like make that happen, and hopefully we can really fill that gap that's been missing.
Theo Jimenez?
Theo, what's up, Theo?
Yeah, Theo Jimenez.
Jimenez, he's
Theo?
watching in Massachusetts.
What?
Yeah.
You living in Massachusetts?
He says, I think it looks like on Facebook, he says, I'm loving this downtown mall full circle story.
Yeah,
Right now.
Yeah,
Theo's.
Yeah,
Multiple
okay.
folks are asking Jerry, ask them about how they met, how long they've learned and known each other, and some childhood stories that are
Me and Danny?
R-rated. Yeah,
Oh,
that are R-rated.
This is easy.
Wait, who said that?
All right, multiple people.
Oh my
All right,
gosh.
well,
All right.
first off, let me shout out Teo. Teo is a good skateboarder from Charlottesville.
Okay.
Talk about street skating. He was good. He was in the Argyle crew, which is real close to us. They were the generation right after us, and I'm good friends with like pretty much all of them. In fact, August, shout out if you're watching right now. He's Argyle crew too. He's at the skate shop watching it for us right now.
He better not be watching. He better
You better work.
Maybe working. But Danny stories. I mean, we got a lot of.
Oh my gosh.
We used to do school news skits together in CHS.
Really?
Yeah.
Like SNL style?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
Should we do one now?
Should we
You
do
want
one?
to do a skit right now?
Yeah, I'll stay out of the way.
Oh,
You
God,
guys
no,
take
no,
the
no.
show.
Oh, I don't know.
It's more of him shooting
It's
and me
TK's
acting
all
like an
video.
idiot.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So we had one where we were like floating through the school, and we were actually on skateboards.
Is that Charlottesville High School? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we'd cut off the bottom of our feet in the shot, so it just looks like we were floating through the hallways.
We basically we opened up. I mean, we had a pretty neat, relaxing, era at CHS with Bobby Thompson as our principal. He was the best principal. He let us get away with. We were kind of pretty much anything. And I used to tell the news in the morning, so I made a section at the end of the news where we could show videos and anybody could submit. And Louis and I were really the only ones submitting for these stupid videos. We did one in his mom's basement where
There's clones of you in the house.
Yeah,
And you're
where
finding
there was
clones
one-
of yourself, like in closets and stuff.
just really
real
silly, stupid stuff.
Yeah.
We've done competitions in Richmond together.
48-hour
projects. Louis went to he has a degree in cinema, also painting and
No, I
printmaking.
don't.
Okay,
I just
all right.
have a degree in painting and printmaking.
All right.
But I did do some.
You did do okay.
Some
Worked in the cinema department
yeah.
at VCU, and then I have a
Great school for cinema.
It is, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's great, incredible department there.
Did you consider doing this in Richmond?
No.
No?
No,
All in
there-
Charlottesville
there-
because this is
Richmond-
home?
Yeah, no, just there's no skate shop here, and there's
Yeah.
such a need for it.
Yeah.
And Richmond saturated?
Yes.
Richmond, we're good friends.
Yeah.
I'm good friends with Venue, which is one of the best skate shops ever, in my opinion. And they're the Richmond skate shop, and I got a lot of advice from them. I've skated with Maury, the owner. Him and his wife Kim own it, and them and their family run the shop. And I just got a lot of mentoring from him, so it was great.
This is a good question right here. Brian Susia is watching in Crozet. Jerry, I grew up skating. It's still a passion. While I can't get on the board as much as before, I'm trying to pass this along to my son. I will be sure to check out the shop this weekend. I didn't know they were on the downtown mall. Can you ask the guys who some of their influences are from a skating standpoint? Tony Hawk for me, and certainly the Tony Hawk video games.
I mean,
everyone's played
I've been a
right?
skatehead. Yeah, well, that's like one of the things that really pushed it into the mainstream is the video games. I guess that would have been 20 years ago or something.
20, 25 years ago?
Yeah, and so you get professional skaters going from being like just pros that skateboarders know to like mainstream icons.
Yeah, X Games did that too.
Chad Muska, Kareem Campbell, like these people who were just known in the skate world, all of a sudden, like the whole world knows who they are. And then they got, it was benefit to them, obviously. Influences I have, I mean, I'm a pretty big skatehead, so I could tell you like 100 skateboarders that I love. And right now, one of my favorite current skateboarders, I guess, would be this guy named John Shanahan, who's like a New York skater. Back in the day, I loved like all the East Coast grungy spot skaters like Fred Gall or Stevie Williams or Ricky Oyola, or I could go on with hundreds of skateboard names.
How about
Brian Wenning? I love Brian Wenning. All these Philadelphia dudes, which is funny because I love the love signs.
Man, you guys are blowing up on here. All right, more questions coming in. This one from Danny. How difficult was it to transition from restaurants into being a business owner? You seem to really like restaurants. Was that you faking it right there?
Yeah, no,
and Ivan and Andrew are watching right now.
Oh my gosh.
Let's get Robert. Was it Robert Sarver? Should we get him in the mix for the Downtown Grill?
Robert. Oh, I love Robert.
Yeah, me too. I still see him taking the money to the bank every day.
Do you really?
Yeah, I mean, you remember him doing that?
Oh my God, yeah. He taught me how to do it. I mean, yeah.
Obviously, Downtown Grill's closed, but
I know.
R.I.P. Downtown Grill.
R.I.P. I think. Part of me, I love restaurants. There's a lot that I love about it, and there's a lot that I don't miss.
The hours.
Yeah, the
grind.
hours. Yeah, for sure. But I mean, the people, customer service has always been something that I have my dad owned small businesses growing up.
What kinds?
He owned a construction, small building company, and then he also owned a restaurant that was way before its time. It was called Sunflower Natural Foods out in Nelson County. I doubt anybody remembers it. It barely broke even for 10 years, and I mean now I think it would do really well. But anyway, that was one of my first jobs, and I just loved running the store versus being on the construction site. And then through college, waiting tables and working in restaurants has always been a close friend. I definitely, back to Danny's question as far as the transition, it was, as far as learning the back end, there was some scary stuff that honestly, anyone who's thinking about opening a small business, reach out. There's so many resources in this town. It's not as scary as you think.
What'd you do? What resources do you suggest?
Gosh, pretty much, I mean, Ivan Rikosh to begin with.
Ivan's watching.
My mother, Ivan, was huge in helping me.
So Ivan is the owner of Zocalo.
Of Zocalo.
His former boss.
Yes.
How did Ivan help?
Oh my gosh, just basically talking me off the ledge every day, being don't worry, this is how you do it,
And dude, you were a key component of Zocalo. The point of contact, the dude running the show at night.
Yes.
Just about every evening.
Yes.
And here's your boss empowering you and supporting you to leave his business, where in a lot of ways and to start your own.
Yes.
Not every person would do that.
100%. Ivan, my Zocalo family, I mean, I love you guys. You've been huge in this transition. He supported me in everything.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, he's awesome. Huge support system here. And anybody who... Anyway, those are the resources. This is why I love CVille. I love this town. It's so forgiving, and it's also, just the fact that we're on here and everybody's supporting us like this. Anyway, I could go on and on. But yeah, the transition, as far as going, the customer service side, pretty much the same thing. Just working with guests.
And to be fair, we're still transitioning.
And
How so?
It was only been 15 days.
15 days.
Yeah.
I figured it out.
Neither one of us have ever been in retail. I mean, I've taken money in restaurants. Like, I've used a cash register in restaurants, but that's about as close as I've gotten to retail ever. I know what a skate shop is because I grew up in skate shops. So I felt confident to run a skate shop. Like I said, but no other business would I be. But Danny, he's got confidence that I don't have with this kind of experience, even though he's never done it per se in retail.
A lot of it's pretty similar. It's just maintaining inventory, making sure that we have enough of everything on the shelves, which is also the interesting part too. We're still navigating that because the trends are always changing. 1 week, they'll send out the distributors where we can get this certain item, and then they're never going to have it again. So skateboarding, as far as apparel and as far as the hardware and the decks, like everything's constantly changing.
And for me, that's a blast because I'm
going to try it out.
Well, not as much. I get to order it.
Yeah.
He
tries it out. He tries it out.
So you're like a kid on Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
Every
exactly.
time. Yeah.
When a box comes, you're like,
oh, yeah.
No, that's funny. You say that because Aaron Hawkins, he owned the old skate shop on Main Street 15 years ago.
Okay. Where was that?
That was on Main Street. It's what was it? It's Maya or right next to Maya?
Yeah. No. I think it was on the corner.
I think it was on the corner too.
Yeah.
It was the corner one right across from the train station.
Okay.
No, I think it was behind Old Baja Bean, right? Wasn't it in that
That's
corner?
Elliewood.
Or is he thinking of Culture, the head shop?
I don't know. No, so here's the thing. ERA was on Elliewood on the corner.
Yeah.
And then it moved to Main Street.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Okay, that's right.
But Aaron, he said one of the coolest things about having a skate shop is every time an order comes in here is Christmas. I mean, you don't get to keep the stuff, but the best part about ripping open your Christmas presents is ripping them open.
Yeah.
It's only downhill from there.
Yeah. That's true. Well said. That's very well
And it's
said.
even more, it's just to see the kids come in and see our board wall. If you guys stop in the shop, the coolest thing about the shop is seeing the board wall.
Dude, it looks dope.
Thank you.
From the window,
Yeah.
like I walk by and see it. I mean, the boards are like works of art.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially when you have the montage of all the boards on the wall, it really even makes it look even more like art.
Well,
Thank you.
it's cool how different boards speak to different people, just like paintings in a museum. Different paintings speak to, it's very similar. So it is got this gallery feel to it in a way. And before I forget or not do it, we have to shout out Jeremy Dunn. He's
big time.
Classic Charlottesville skateboarder also. A few years older than us. He fabricated the entire store from scratch.
Really?
In his backyard.
Yep.
What does that mean?
Everything in there is custom built.
All the shelving, the board wall. He found these old planks in a shipping yard.
He does the
Yeah,
metal work.
yeah.
He did everything. Every structure in there is handmade by him in his backyard, and he did it all in a month.
So you found a visionary that built your store out that has a passion for skating.
Exactly.
Yes.
Damn.
Also, going back to the community that, just from this town and from Louie and I, from the people that we've had around us artistically and stuff, Jeremy is,
His Instagram handle is Done Purdy Good.
DUNN.
DUNNPURDY good.
Okay.
And check out his stuff. If you have projects you want to hire him for, hit him up. He is a Renaissance man. There's nothing he can't do, including paintings, and I mean like paintings, like portraits and stuff.
Jerry, the box, the Mr. Miyagi chopsticks, that's Jeremy's painting.
Chaz Webster's former joint.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. He did that?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
Painted
amazing.
Chaz, he's good friends with Chaz, and I'm serious. If you need help popping your business off, hit up Jeremy Dunn.
Jordan Michael Green, giving you guys some props right now.
All right, what's up, Jordan?
Is one of these, someone is calling you babe here. Is it Brooke Grimaldi?
That's my girlfriend. Okay. Hey, sweetheart.
She says, oh my God, hey babe. Smiley face emoji with hearts in it. What's up, Brooke, and welcome to the broadcast here. All right, so let me throw this to you guys here. A lot of folks are asking, and I'm getting this on Twitter and straight up text message for you guys. Can you guys put in perspective what you guys have on the line? How hard it was to open. Some folks are asking the financial commitment. We don't have to get in personal details if you guys don't want to talk finances. But I remember 13 years ago when I opened this business, I put in my life savings into it, had no customers for 6 months, Life savings basically dwindled down to like $1,300. I was terrified. I had to welcome my 2 best friends into my house to rent the rooms from me, or I would have defaulted on the mortgage.
Wow.
I was going to McDonald's and eating double cheeseburgers because that's all I could afford, or going to the Panda Garden buffet and stealing food.
We're not
Ziploc bags.
We're not that
literally
dire.
Wow.
We're not that dire, but it's not like.
Are you balls to the wall here?
Yeah, we are. We're
Yeah.
our personal bank accounts are both drained to do this for the most
Respect,
part.
dude.
And
Thanks,
we've got a little bit of support, but this is not an expensive business to start. So it's kind of amazing there's not a lot of business opportunities like this one. Let's put it that way. Where we did have to put a lot on the line. That being said, we did not have to, get investors and, take out, it's doable. It just kind of took all of our resources, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the biggest thing about the skate shop is the inventory, hands down. I mean, that was the most expensive part.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Having a friend who's giving, Jeremy did his best to make it affordable for us,
Yes.
because he really cared about our shop.
Yes.
So that was huge. Having people like Ivan care about our shop,
Aaron
that's
Hawkins
huge.
made our
Aaron
design.
Hawkins
Yeah.
caring about our shop.
Yep.
We had a lot of support that money can't even buy.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was another thing where I was really confident at the beginning. And Danny, because I knew we had these people in our pocket, and it took Danny a second to realize, we really do have a really special opportunity here.
Yeah,
So
it was
that's
kind
why
of amazing. Yeah.
I felt real confident just going head first into
My mic
this
messed up,
opportunity.
Okay.
More props coming in. Charlene Munford.
Oh, hey, Charlene.
Thank
What's
you
up,
for your
Charlene?
wonderful and educational shop. The downtown mall needs you guys. Andre
appreciate that.
Xavier, who's a serial entrepreneur,
Yeah.
knows you,
Yes.
says Danny is awesome. They will do great with their shop. Wishing you guys the best in downtown Charlottesville.
Thanks.
Thanks, Andre.
How about this question that's come in? You guys are role models for every kid that comes into your shop. How do you feel about that?
I don't feel the best about that all the time.
Why do you say that?
Well, skateboarding's so counterculture, and
What do you mean counterculture?
just
Do you think you're a role model?
I think I can be, and I plan on being. But for instance, sometimes you've got to, if you're doing an Instagram post, you got to be careful because it's not your personal accountant. It's not your
You're a brand now.
You're a brand now.
Yeah.
So, and also skateboarding is
yeah.
punk rock. A lot of it is very punk rock, and it's weird, having to balance that with being, you're saying, a role model.
Louis, you're a great role model,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Yeah, you
This guy's
you
so,
know what you're doing. Yeah.
He's what's the word when you're kind of humble and
Yeah, yeah.
you're a good dude.
You are.
I'm seeing it.
You've done. You did the basketball camp for a long time. The way the kids come in and you're. Let me just say this,
Yeah.
and I'm going to embarrass him a little
Please
bit.
do.
But you've got a great balance of being the coolest guy in the room, and also.
I mean, his hat says players on it.
I mean, look at him. Yeah,
His hat
he's pretty
says
cool.
players.
This hat's this is some vintage.
I like it, dude.
Yeah.
But the way that I think, to go back to that question, I think that both of us, and I'm obviously learning through you how to the skateboarding talk and whatever. But he goes out with the kids and films them. He's at the skate park all the time.
That's cool.
Just
Working on videos.
working on videos, but also showing up and being a part of the community and saying, hey, we're here. And then the way that you're inclusive is excellent. We're not a pretentious skate shop. I know that sometimes, you can be a little bit nervous about being. Skateboarding's really hip. If you know skateboarders, they think they're the coolest people on the planet. And sometimes being a part of that can seem cliquey at times. But I think that our shop, we've got all different types coming in. I mean, we have old skateheads, we have little kids coming in and getting their first skateboard. Anyway, and the way that Louis handles it, I think that you're being humble, but I think you have a really nice grace about handling everybody. And then me on the back end, as far as
Logistics,
yeah,
operations.
logistics, and then also when I just smile and ring people up, basically. But he
You're
has a
being
real
humble
grace.
now, too.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys, it takes so much courage and like cojones and like conviction and backbone to do what these guys are doing and what any small business is doing. And throw in the fact that these dudes opened up a brand and a business during freaking COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, have we even talked about that yet? Let's go down that road.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that is part of what really. So we did this basically coming out of COVID as soon as you could have, based on the product availability.
Okay.
So.
Because you're saying supply chains were pinched because of COVID?
Yes.
Okay.
There was no product. And when we had this idea, it was in the middle of that. And it was just starting to pick up. And we said, okay, so let's try to open this as soon as we can. And let's keep an eye on like what supplies looks like. And it just this is kind of as fast as you possibly could have opened a skate shop coming out of COVID.
Dude, you guys crushed it. From like when I heard, because like I said to you guys before the show, Bill Nitchman, the owner of the building, is a mentor of mine. I used to share a wall with him for 18 months.
No way.
On the third floor of the professional center in that building. Mm-hmm. And he said to me in passing, I just signed a lease with two guys. He called you two young men that were opening a business, and it's going to be a skate shop.
Yeah.
And then immediately I'm seeing the newspapers over the window.
Yeah.
Right? You had the newspapers under the window to hide the construction, what was happening. Mm-hmm. And then the shop opened. Mm-hmm. I mean, you guys effing crushed it from a speed standpoint.
Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah.
Because
most of the time, build-outs and grand openings take an extended period of time, and that just erodes your cash because you're paying rent.
Yeah.
Well, and this goes back to Jeremy, really like giving him a lot of credit, wanting to do that for us.
Yeah.
And knowing what our timeline was and like working with us to make it happen. And, also having a vision that could happen in that amount of time. I mean, it's not our cash that allowed that. It was his creativity.
Well, and also, back to you, Louis. Yeah, you crushed it, man. I mean,
I quit.
Louis went after it. I mean, he took it by the jugular. He went after when accounts weren't wanting to open with us.
Why? Because you guys didn't have credit?
Well, no, because you have to be established. We had to
Well,
prove,
and also there's no product, so they weren't.
and there wasn't any
opening
product. It was really difficult in the beginning.
Yeah.
But Louis didn't give up. He didn't take no for an answer. And we also, again, we reached out to, friends that we had in the industry. Aaron Hawkins was huge in helping us, opening
Maury
up
and
a
Kim
really
at
big
Venue
account.
in
Maury and
Richmond.
Kim at Venue, which is the premier skate shop in Richmond. People just really got excited
and also
about
the
this.
kids in town.
These guys could host their own talk show on this network. I'm just going to take a step back and watch you guys. You guys are good. You finish each other's sentences. You clearly like each other. You're business partners. You're passionate about what you do. I love it, dude. It's like
Thanks, Jerry.
palpable in here.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, we've got a 25-year dynamic under our belt.
Yeah.
Did you get any
20 years
concern about going into business with such a super tight homie?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, we
We've
bicker
crashed
and
and
we
burned
fight.
plenty of times
Yeah.
together.
Oh, yeah.
But we've always bounced back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had our fair share of fights, and
I think it's your mom
yeah.
who puts it that way. Like, we're closer to like siblings than a lot of siblings are to each other.
Well said.
Yeah.
So
Very well said. All right, let's recognize some of the people giving you props.
All right.
Harry Lynn
Harry
says, yeah, Louis, and he's got the emoji with the sunglasses.
Yeah, he's got twins. I heard.
He does.
Yeah. So hopefully he'll be bringing them in for their first skateboards.
Two beautiful twins, Harry Lynn. Take after their mama, Harry Lynn. That man taught me how to skate. Rutledge was the spot to be.
Cul-de-sac, the first skate video we ever made. So then back then we made you had to, is before we could edit on computers, you'd use two VCRs and a mixer, and we were working on this video for months until the tape died. And when the tapes died, because it's all analog. So you run the tape into the ground trying to edit it, and then we just gave up on it. And then I finally edited my first skate video once I had a computer in my house. So.
Yeah?
But yeah, Harry, we skated on the cul-de-sac pretty much every day after school.
Evan, Alex, Modest, and then the smiley face with the tears coming out.
Yeah,
I
right.
think that's for Louis right
Evan
there.
knows what's up. He knows.
Ashley C. Williams. Hey, Danny.
Aw,
This
what's
is
up, Ashley?
so cool. If you guys want to give the fellas some props, put it in the feed. The Cinema Skate Shop page is blowing up. We're going to get to some of these comments here in a matter of moment, including from, is it Taryn Gagney?
That's my brother, Taryn. What's up, man? Yeah.
Nice work, guys. Where's
Thanks,
he watching
man.
right now?
Who is?
Where's he watching, your brother?
Oh, he's watching in town. Yeah,
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Shelly Hamler, what's up, Shelly?
Aw, what's up, Shelly?
She says,
Thank you
congrats,
so much for
guys.
your
This is
help.
freaking awesome.
Yeah, Shelly, thank you for your
Yeah,
help.
Shelly helped us out. Big
Shelly
time, too,
is,
yeah.
I think she's a bookkeeper
Yes,
in town.
yes.
Her husband, Scott, I love you, Scott
Yes.
Hamler, works in marketing for Easy, marketing solutions.
Yep.
Love Scott Hamler on this program. So let's put this question in perspective. A lot of people asking this. Where do you want the brand and the shop to go?
It's a good question. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a creative process. I mean, right now we're focused on getting good hard goods, getting brands people in town like, and making videos, because that's what really energizes the core scene.
Isn't it shocking how much a brand in 2021 is as much about selling something to people as it is creating the content around the brand? And this fits your skill set.
Yeah, totally. And I think skateboarding's always really been focused on creative content, whether it's the graphics on the boards or the videos the brands are making, you know? That's really what drives a skateboard brand success, is capturing like the imagination of skaters everywhere through their design and their videos. So
Yeah, check out some of the designs on the Instagram. You know, if you guys want to, Lou's done some really hard work with his artistic background, his collage work. We ran out of shirts the first week. The kids came in and just the shop shirts, more than any of our third-party stuff, just flew off the shelf.
Brian and
So,
Croze wants to know if you guys are going to roll out your own boards.
yes,
So that's his second question he's asked here.
we got shop decks coming.
Okay.
Should be 3 to 5 weeks, I want to say.
So ones you guys have designed?
So actually, I was working on many designs, but Aaron Hawkins once again came in with a really incredible design that we just were sold on.
So is the margin way better with that?
Yeah, but
Because you're not getting middled by the brand?
yeah, exactly. But you know, a skate shop has to have a balance of like supporting, like you can't go all in on that, and you got to push the main brands too, because that's gonna come back to you in the end. If you're pushing the popular brands and selling the popular brands, that's what the industry really values. So we want to stay within that kind of
Why is that?
value system. Because they're the ones paying the good skateboarders to skateboard.
Understood.
Yeah.
So the industry sees the popular brands as being the foundation for the sport.
Yeah, I guess that could probably, something like that.
We'll acknowledge some of the folks, and then we'll get to some of these questions. Megan Norrid,
Oh, what's up, Megan? Hey.
Victoria, giving you some props over here. I mean,
up,
I
Victoria?
can't, dude, you guys are popular dudes. I can't even get to these people here.
all
Let's see here. Brian Sobel,
Yeah.
watching
All right.
the program. Carolina
Brian?
Furtado.
Yeah, what's up, Carolina?
Watching the show right here. Questions, put them in the feed. So, two of the dads are asking, tell us more about the events you have planned to get more skaters involved and the next generation involved.
That's a good question. We're 15 days old, so nothing planned yet. However, contests and pro demos are really, and videos, contests, pro demos, videos. The videos is the easiest thing because I can produce them myself and I have the equipment to do it.
So is the concept, you come to you come to the park at McIntyre and I'll make a video for you?
Kind of. I do. That's more Instagram. We're doing like street skate videos, so you kind of like leave the skate park out of the street skate videos.
Okay.
But it's kind of like the skaters who are skating well and street skating will pretty much meet up with and film parts and get tricks with them, and then put it together in a montage that you call a skate video. But in terms of other things, we really want to get pro demos through with this park because this park is incredible, and it's a matter of me really learning from people who know more than me about how to curate that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then contests, we would love to do a contest at McIntyre Park and really hoping that we can work with the people at the city to make that happen. And then,
contests.
maybe contest at Skate
yeah.
Nelson, which
Yeah.
is Nelson's
Yeah.
DIY skate park.
Yeah.
Nelson County?
Yeah.
Nelson County is a skate park?
Yeah.
It's not like this one, but they have a big ramp, so they have a half pipe. And then they have some wooden built objects on like courts basically, and kids love it. I mean, kids progress in the area there because of Skate Nelson. So something tells me we might end up doing a Skate Nelson contest first, and then hoping that success can carry over to McIntyre Skate Park.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
Yeah,
question has come in here. Can Louis talk about how the sport has evolved? It's not so much shady and street skating, and it's more mainstream and safer than ever before.
I mean,
Is that fair?
I mean, safer? I don't know about safer. Safer if you're like worried about running away from people, I guess. I don't know. I think so skating at a park is one thing. Going out and skating in public and private space is quite another thing. Obviously, the skill set of people is better now. You have more people doing it, hence you have more high-level skateboarders, which makes it, so you might see skaters in Charlottesville doing things more now that are higher level than you would 10, 15 years ago because you have, 400% more skaters than you did 10 or 15 years ago. In terms of progression, I mean, skateboarding's been very consistent in terms of what it is for a long time. And I think that's one of the really attractive things about it is that even as it becomes more mainstream, it's still an individual sport where you get to really express yourself through how you skate, what you wear, where you skate, who you skate with, those kind of things. So if anything, it's just more accepted and makes it easier for you to skateboard in general.
Wes Alamard says via Twitter, how does the scene compare to Richmond?
Very different.
Yeah.
Richmond, well, one, it's a million people or whatever. It's much bigger. The trends are a little bit different, but Richmond is a city that doesn't have a really great skate park. I mean, they don't.
Shocks me.
Yeah.
I don't know much about skating, but that shocks me because it's so big.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a city has, I think the most expensive park there is $150,000, $250,000, whereas we have a $2 million park here. So they're different scenes. I'd really like to be a home base to like motivate kids to street skate more, just because I think that's really, you get to really express yourself and be creative in street skating, how you interact with public and, public terrain and stuff. There's a lot of that in skateboarding, and you have to go out and explore to find those things and to be creative.
Yeah.
So in Richmond, kids are incredible at street skating, and I really hope to influence kids and locally to train at the park and then go create and be expressive street skating. So.
Good answer.
Yeah, well said.
Mark Wilkinson.
What's up, Mark?
Oh, what's up, Mark?
Giving you some props. He says, get it, guys. Question for Danny. Do you see this brand potentially being a multi-unit location in the area? They're 15 days in, guys.
I know.
Yeah, so we are actually opening up a scooter / No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean,
it could.
It could. Yeah. I think
like Forest Lakes.
Well, maybe. Yeah, we could.
Can I tell you? Here's the reason you open another location or move. Is so that you can have skatable things attached to your location, whether it be a ramp in the parking lot or a ramp inside for testing things.
Sure. So that's the only, I'll throw this to you, toughest question I'm going to ask you.
Sure.
The only potentially tough spot of the location is the no skating and bike riding on the mall. Is that fair?
Yeah. I mean, to me, I think it, well, for one, there's a really popular skate spot right next to us on the mall, which you're not supposed to skate. Luckily, the police are very nice and just kind of tell you to leave. I really hope it stays that way.
What spot is that?
It's the chalk the chalk wall?
Yeah.
Right around there is really fun to skate.
Okay.
And even people stop and watch when kids are skating there. So, I mean, I think it's a positive thing. However, I respect the city not wanting kids to skate down there. But absolutely. But I'm okay with it because downtown Charlottesville is all the most iconic street skating spots are down here. And I love the fact that we're right in the middle of all of that stuff because that's all the stuff I grew up skating. So
yeah, again, we're not telling anybody to go skate
don't
the
skate
mall
on the
or anything.
downtown
Don't
mall.
skate on the mall.
It's not allowed.
But yeah, I think it's a nice meeting point for everybody downtown.
Absolutely.
It's accessible to the park. And the kids, for the most part, are being very respectful of the mall, and they know that they know in a
lot of ways they're repping you.
Exactly. Yeah, we're the new kids on the block, so we gotta there's businesses around us that have been there for a long time, And I know that, I think we've calmed their concern in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so
you
far,
definitely
so.
have, dude. You totally have. I
Thank you,
wouldn't
Jerry.
even sweat that.
Thank
Catherine Lecker is giving you guys
Katie,
some props.
Oh, what's up, Katie?
How about this question for you guys? Your love for Charlottesville and the downtown mall and what it means to you guys. Want to
Danny's
start?
He's a downtown mall guy.
Yeah, I mean...
I mean, he's almost like the mayor of the downtown mall.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Everyone down there knows
Yeah.
him.
All right, thanks, Jerry. I thought you were the mayor.
No,
of
dude.
Charlottesville.
You got
right.
I'm not in the late night game anymore. I used
Oh,
to
my
be.
gosh.
Yeah. There's Danny now, though.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
know.
You're out of the late night.
You have a
I'm out,
3-year-old
yeah, I
and
know.
you're no longer in the late night game. I got a 3-year-old.
Okay, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I love this town. I love the fact that, my dad, I watched both of my parents kind of run their own businesses and be very successful at that. And
What was your mom's business?
my mom, believe it or not, she did dietary consulting for a long time. She still does. She's mostly retired for the most part. But she, just basically consulted people who either had immune deficient illnesses or were on some sort of protocol, and then helped them with a supplemental diet on the side, and was very successful at it.
Cool.
She did this. She grew up in the macrobiotic, or was part of the macrobiotic community in Boston, which is where I was born, and then we moved down here. And anyway, my parents kind of continued that through my dad owning a construction. He owned a recycling storefront on the mall, actually, which is where
Get out of town.
yeah, which is where Lynn Goldman actually has her
Her jewelry.
has her store. But anyway, it made sense for me to open a shop here, to open a business. I know that Louis, this town has always, it's just been so, it's been good. I'm kind of lost for words because there's a lot of feelings going on, but it's just been so forgiving. I mean, this community, through the way that we've made it through COVID, through the way that, Jerry, you've showed your support, the way that the restaurant community has really come together, I think is just one fraction of showing how this community just stands up in the face of, just any kind of
Adversity.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. I'm losing my words here, but anyway, for me, it made sense to finally make my mark, especially on the downtown mall, where I've spent a lot of my time working for other businesses, great businesses, great, owners of different businesses, and it just makes sense for me to have a storefront on the mall where I can have people, come in and say, hey, I've had a lot of my old clientele come in who would never buy a skateboard. And some of the stories are really interesting. I had Ches and Chris, who are longtime customers of the Downtown Grill and Zocalo. Uh-huh. They came in, and Ches told me that he built his skateboard. Ches is probably, mid-60s. He built a skateboard in Cub Scouts. And then sure enough, his partner, Chris, was like, yeah, I had a skateboard back in the 60s. And it's funny. Anyway, everybody has a little bit of a connection.
Everybody had a skateboard at some time in their
Exactly.
life. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it's really neat to have a storefront finally where people can at least stop in, check out the shop, at the very least come in and say hey to Louis and I, because, we're semi-popular guys. Louis, a lot of people are stopping in and saying, hey, old friends, from high school and stuff like that.
I see them.
Yeah.
Ashley Williams, in fact. Tell Danny I say hi.
Oh,
I'm a childhood friend of his.
Yeah, Ashley.
Literally
Ashley
just put that on the feed. Tough question for you. Okay, tough question for you. You guys are Charlottesville guys. We're passionate about living here. How about 8/12/2017 and how we're trying to get beyond some of the stuff that we need to reckon with? We still have a long way to go. But hopefully we're heading in the right direction as a community. 8/12, anything that comes to mind with 8/12 that you experienced? I was right there outside this studio seeing, I'll cut to the chase, shit and evil and sin that I'd never seen before. And 8/12 caused a couple months of PTSD for me. And this show and this concept was birthed from that because I wanted to show the positive of Charlottesville. Mm-hmm. So that's what this idea came from that.
Mm-hmm. I don't have I wasn't involved. I wasn't here. I wasn't downtown for it or anything. I just was pretty much like the rest of the people watching.
Were you in Richmond?
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
were in Richmond?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I was here. Yeah, I didn't come downtown. I mean, I watched it from television. I can only imagine, what it was like being down here. We obviously have a lot of friends that decided to go and, march the streets and protest that day. And then, yeah, I think that for us, I'll just say my 2 cents, and I don't know if this reflects how Louis feels, but, it just, that was not Charlottesville. That's not what this town is about. At all, and
you mean the violence?
Yeah, or just absolutely. I think that all the other actors that where the violence came from, they were all not part of this community, and I think that we found that out later, that a lot of them came from other states.
Mm-hmm. The dude drove from Ohio to spend the rest of his life in jail.
James Fields, right? Yeah. So, what's your question, Jerry? As far as like rebuilding from that, or
where we got to go, rebuilding. It kind of fit the adversity we were talking about, how we overcome it as a community. We're galvanized.
Yes.
I mean, a wonderful thing about CVille is it's a progressive town. It's a college town. There's a lot of smart people here. There's a lot of intellectuals here. There's a lot of great doctors here. I mean, it's a forward-thinking place, and I think that's a good community to be at the root of that kind of situation. So I won't go into it much more, but this is a good community to kind of move forward from those
well said,
those issues that a lot of places probably have to deal with a lot worse than around here. And this happened to be an explosion of some an explosion of two ideologies clashing, but it seems like the community is really able to heal from it in a forward fashion and not go backwards in time. And you can see that by what's kind of taking place here 3-4 years later with, I guess, statues and things like that.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. All right, back to skating. Evan, Alex, do you think this generation of street skaters are doing a better job at being respectful and educating the public about skateboarding to prevent negative stigma? By the way, hi, Danny. It's Evan Alcock.
Oh,
Alcock.
Yeah, what's up, Evan?
And his handle on Facebook is Evan Alex.
What's up, Evan? Great question.
I mean,
Louis, you want to take that one?
It's a tough situation because to skateboard outside of the park in a public space, you kind of have to do things that the space isn't built for. And that's always, there's no way, unfortunately, there's not a great way to spin that to people other than saying, people in this country, there's a strong sense of entitlement with in my opinion, in a capitalistic society, whereas there's not as much socialism in our country, so we don't have this sense of sharing public space quite as much as, say, you would in France or something like that. So it's not really a part of the mentality of Americans, I don't think, to have that sense of sharing public space. So it's really hard to kind of educate people, especially when you're basically doing things that you're not supposed to be doing. Being respectful, skateboarders are a million times more respectful now than when I was a kid. And some people think that's a great thing, and some people wish it was more punk rock like it used to be, I'm sure. But in terms of moving forward and in terms of interacting with the community and the public, I think skateboarding's definitely moved forward.
I agree. Sure. Yeah, and you're seeing that with the kids that are coming in, and I call them kids because everybody's younger than me. But
we're getting older.
Yeah, exactly. They're super respectful.
The cool thing about your business is the array of ages. I've seen 10, 12, 13-year-olds come in, and then I've seen dads come in with their kids.
Yeah. All of them used to skate, and we sent this little kid, barely 3 years old.
Oh yeah, probably something like that.
And his dad's just really wants him to have his first skateboard. It's really important to the dad whether or not the kid's going to use the board or not. But it's pretty awesome, that he's passing that legacy on.
Mm-hmm.
He's, if he's not skating as much, he wants to at least, open up the door for, his kid to try it out, which is awesome.
I think this is culturally we're behind in, say, the West Coast. I think there were parents in the West Coast 10 years ago who supported their kids because they could relate to them because they skated. But now we're finally getting to the point on the East Coast where there's enough parents who skated in the 90s or whatever it may be that they can relate to their kids for wanting to skate, you know? So it's not just saying, oh, I want my kid to be happy and do what they want to do, so I'm going to support them and give them money to buy the product. It's, oh, I skated and I want my kid to skate because I loved it, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah, well said.
it's
Yeah.
more, there's more of that going on nowadays, especially on the East Coast than
Yeah.
I'm sure there's ever been, yeah.
Why don't we close with this?
Please.
We're 67 minutes in.
Wow.
So this interview's flown by.
Holy
An
Thanks,
hour and
Jerry.
change. We'll close with this. You got a lot of people that are hearing about your brand for the first time, that are about to be customers here. Start with you, Danny. What can everyone in the community expect from Cinema Skate Shop?
Yeah, to kind of echoing what Louis said, to being a hub for young people to come down, to express themselves. I think that skateboarding is a huge part of, you know, that finding your identity as a young person. I know that, you know, at least from Louis' experience, I think, you know, being a misfit sometimes in skateboarding allows you a place to find, you know, your identity, whether it's like choosing the board that you identify with or, you know, going out and skating with your friends. And I think that it's about time that we have something like that for young people downtown, and to say, hey, you know, we're here for you to, you know, we have kids that just want to come in and hang out in the shop, whether or not they're buying something. And I love that. So we will continue to, you know, be here for the kids, to foster that creativity, and to, you know, we're not going anywhere. You know, we want to show up for them.
My big goal is obviously have a great skate shop with great products that all sorts of skaters, whether they're skating the bowls or they're skating street or they're cruising for transportation, want to have all that stuff to provide for them. And then my biggest goal is making good skate videos that, you know, good shop, they call them shop videos, but make strong content in terms of video content, skate video content, because that way.
And you're living your dream here, aren't you?
I think pretty much, yeah.
I mean, the guy creates videos and loves to skate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
well,
all in
big
one.
time.
Well,
Yeah.
we're also.
Is that the cinema portion of the brand?
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
us.
And
Yeah,
and the thing
yeah.
is, we've always wanted to make movies together, and you know, it's a lot scary to put X amount of money into making your own movie than like this shop, and so I think this is in a sense like kind of like that, where we're putting our money into this shop that is also this base for us to be able to produce video content, which is what I want to do. And now I get to do it for my own business.
With your
instead-
homie.
With
Yeah,
my homie, who's
that's
my
right,
video.
that's right.
Yeah, and look for unconventional video production coming from our skate shop. We've got some good ideas that we're trying to move forward with that are not your conventional skate video content. So keep an eye on our Instagram for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like it. Get the Instagram out there.
It's Cinema Skate Shop, all one word, Cinema Skate Shop.
Okay. Ashley, we'll close on this. I will absolutely spread the word about this new shop. She says, make a new The Kids movie.
Kids.
She says, yeah.
Oh,
make a-
kids. I forget the director.
I remember The Kids.
It's
Yeah.
not. I don't think it's Harmony.
was a pretty
Korine.
dark movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's real dark.
Are
It's
you
about-
talking about kids?
Yeah, I think that's what
really.
she's talking
hey,
Oh boy. All
what
right.
was who said that? What's her name?
Ashley C. Williams.
Ashley.
Oh my gosh.
I love dark drama. I
Yeah.
love social.
I mean, it was a good
dilemma
movie, actually. It
drama.
was just a dark movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of movie I would love to make, and I would love it to be about skateboarding too. So you might be onto something.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
They're on the downtown mall. These dudes are A+ people. Support the businesses that make the area better. Please keep the money local in the community. You see how they're trying to give back. If we keep the business on fire, they're going to create events at McIntyre, and then the entire community benefits from this, whether it's the dads and the moms all the way down to the 2, 3, 4, and 5-year-olds that are new to the sport. I mean, how lucky are we to have a $2 million skate park in Charlottesville, Virginia? Good Lord, guys.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah.
reason why this community is amazing. I think these guys are going to absolutely freaking crush it downtown Charlottesville. That's the show. Make sure you tell the fellas they did a hell of a job next time you see them. Tomorrow on the program, we are spotlighting Paul McCarter. He's a parent of a student at Mountain View Elementary. If you haven't heard, Mountain View Elementary, because of overcrowding, 5th graders are being asked to go to Walton Middle School. It's an extra 40 minutes one way on the bus in the morning, an extra 40 minutes in the afternoon. They don't have a playground or a library set up for 5th graders, and a lot of the parents, there's 115 kids that are going to have to go to a middle school instead of elementary school because of overcrowding issues. A lot of the parents are really, really worried because their kids are coming out of COVID where they weren't learning amongst their peers. So here we're really expediting the maturation process, the social interaction process. That story on the I Love CVille show tomorrow. You guys have a good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Good.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks.
That was awesome. You're the
Crushed
man,
it.
dude.
Crushed
Thanks,
it.
dude.
Crushed it.
Thanks.
We're just going to take a photo real quick of these guys.
Yeah.
And then we'll get you out. Jay Dobbs.